Inga, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Exciting times. Listeners and viewers that tune in this interview, they can see you on So Help Me Todd on CBS. Season 2 recently just got announced. Congrats on
I
that. Must
know,
be
thanks. It
excited.
was so recent. I'm so excited. It's like it's obviously a dream to be on a great show, but to have it renewed for a second season is even better.
Like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about the season coming up in a few minutes. So I was doing some research on you. You're pretty new to the industry.
I'm not new to acting. I'm new-ish to being, I guess, on TV, but I was a child actor.
Okay.
So like I've kind of like dipped my toe, like ran out of the pool, dipped my toe again, ran out of the pool, and then like jumped into the deep end.
So what made you get into acting? Because when I was trying to do some research on you, there isn't a lot on you out there.
I know I like to live a life of mystery. But I did a pageant when I was a kid, and one of the judges was a child agent. So
Okay.
I did a lot of commercials as a kid. That was kind of like my introduction into it. And I just loved it because I think like child actors are different. They're just different. They're bubbly, they're engaging, they want to talk to you, they're very affable. And I was kind of a loser in elementary school. And so it made me feel like I was at peace with myself when I was around other actors. That was kind of like the first iteration of it. And then when I became 18, my parents were like, acting's really hard, so time to go to school and do something serious.
Mm.
But I think that like the performance bug never really left me. I was a dancer all growing up. I loved being on stage. I was in the school plays. Um, but when I interestingly enough, when I moved to Hawaii, I got linked up with a SAG franchise agent there. And then I got a gig doing Hawaii Five-0, and being on set again was a great reminder of how much I loved being on set. And so then when I moved back to New York, I did a 2-year Meisner Conservatory, and then I've been kind of in class ever since, trying to perfect the craft of acting.
Wow. So
Yeah.
like, did you so when you told your parents you're doing this, what was their reaction? Like you
Like,
jumping right into
okay,
it.
listen, I don't think that it's ever gotten better until I booked So Help Me Todd, because then you can actually see the thing that you're happening. You don't feel like you're watching your child struggle all the time, which is, I think,
Yeah.
something that's very hard for them to do. Both my parents are immigrants to the United States. And so the idea of living like the immigrant dream is to have your children grow up in a life that's easier than what you had previously. And so
Right.
the idea of them seeing me struggle was not something that they wanted to be partake in. So
Right. I completely understand with that because my parents, they came from Greece and everything. My dad worked at a factory all his life, and he was pretty much he always wanted us to be better.
yeah, yeah. And so like, you hear the constant story about the actor's struggle. And I
Mm.
think for them, they were like, we don't want you to struggle. Like be the corporate Inga, like just do the corporate thing. And so that's what
Yeah.
ended up happening.
Was there always a backup plan if this didn't work out for you in the beginning?
I mean, there are definitely actors out there who like take the leap and they're
Mm.
like, I'm just going to struggle and struggle because I believe that it can happen. I'm like way too anxious to be able to live that kind of life. And for me, I always say to my friends now is to remove stress is the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially with acting and auditioning.
Yeah.
And so I've always had a corporate job. I've always had a corporate job and auditioned as well. And so it never felt like a backup plan. It just kind of felt like I can do two things at once.
So you still doing two things at once?
Yeah.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So were you able to take time off to film this
No, no,
season?
no, I'm still doing both.
Okay.
Like,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
just doing
amazing.
both. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
All right. So what's another thing you're gonna add on your list now? You gotta add a third thing. Got to keep going.
This is the third thing. Being interviewed, it's the third thing. So here we go. We're just gonna keep leveling up here.
That's amazing. What's the goal? What's the dream?
Oh man, I would love to be in films. I think when you're a kid, there's always the idea of like the blockbuster film, and
Yeah.
and I think being part of that is something that would be my dream in conjunction to working with Michelle Yeoh.
Hmm.
I've always wanted to work with Michelle Yeoh. I've always kind of wanted to be in a kung fu film, and I've always wanted to be in like a blockbuster where people can actually buy a ticket to a movie and see me on the big screen.
Amazing. Now I've had other guests on where they do the acting and everything, but they're still doing commercials. You still playing around
Still
with
doing
that? Do you
commercials? No,
switch?
no, 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 no commercials. I find that that's actually particularly harder to do because I'm also in Vancouver.
Okay.
But no, I'm an actor and a corporate gal through and through.
There you go. Amazing. So let's talk about So Help Me Todd, season 1. How were you approached now for this series? Was it an audition? Tell us the story behind that.
Oh man, I wish that that someone just offered me the role, but no, I went through the trials and tribulations of being an actor like everyone else.
Mm,
I had the audition in, I think it was February, the preliminary audition.
okay.
And then I went to Puerto Rico for a friend's wedding and found out that my producer session, aka my Zoom kind of chemistry read, was going to be the same day. And I was so scared because I was in Vieques, Puerto Rico, which is an island of Puerto Rico that is known to have like one cell tower.
Oh.
I know, I'm glad you felt that pain with me. Um, and so I literally had Wi-Fi for, I kid you not, the exact 15 minutes that it took me to audition for So Help Me Todd. It was literally that, and then it died.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we went into a test deal. I had another audition after that to to make sure that I could, be a lawyer. And then I found out that I booked it.
Wow. So you filmed it in a hotel room, I assume, or something like that?
I was like in an Airbnb, like I was in
Okay.
someone's like first floor of their house.
Wow. So how did you like even prepare for something like this? Like it
I
sounds like it's crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. So in my original audition, I'm wearing a suit, right? Because I play a lawyer. I was wearing a
Yeah.
suit, I was all done up. In my producer session, I was in a bachelorette outfit because that was the only thing that could kind of look like a dress
Yeah.
in the audition in this square box. I didn't have my suit. We contemplated using like my husband's blazer, but like we went with the bachelorette outfit. So
Wow.
that was my audition.
And how long did it take before you heard something back that you booked it?
Oh man, it was a little bit of a waiting process. I would say, I don't know, maybe a week. Like we were hearing it was going to be like 2 or 3 days, but it ended up, I think, being a week. It was really
Oh.
nerve-wracking, actually.
So that must have been an exciting phone call when you got it.
It was like 11 p.m. at night. My manager called with my lawyer and was like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You got it." And I was like,
Wow.
"No way!" And I was by myself in my apartment with my cat, and I was like, "Yeah!" I was celebrating.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, so this show so far, I mean, there's a good fan base around it because I was like the other night when I was doing the research, I was like on Facebook and Reddit, and people are loving the show. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's, the the procedural that CBS is known for, but it has this like really comedic hook.
Yeah.
And the chemistry between Skylar and Marcia is so great. It's so fast paced that I think it kind of just draws you and makes you want to watch it. So it makes sense to me. But I'm also
So
on the show, so I might be a little
right,
biased.
right. So we see you as Susan, like you
Yeah.
said, the lawyer and everything. Like, how do you prepare to play such a role?
Susan isn't far from who I am, I think, as a person. I think might have a little more of an edge to me, or maybe I'm a little bit more friendly, but I think Susan's pretty friendly. I have a lot of lawyer friends.
Okay.
So when it comes to legal information, I tend to double check with them about, specific procedures. Outside of that, it's really just understanding the relationships between my characters and someone else.
What do you love about her?
Oh man, I actually really love Susan. I have such a soft spot for her. I love that she works really hard because I obviously can relate to that. I love that she gives Todd a chance. I think that she's one of
Mm,
the characters on the show who's like actually really kind to Todd. Um, I think she's really sweet, except when we fight over things. But I think she's really sweet, and so I really love all those things about her. I think she's really kind of endearing.
yeah. I've noticed throughout a few episodes she has a few one-liners too that are pretty funny.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, no, she's, I think the whole point of Susan is she's kind of like the normal character amongst, these crazy characters. And so these one-liners are pretty much just me and my point of view.
So, are we going to see a crazy side of you down in the future? What's your thoughts?
I don't know if we're gonna go with crazy, but we're definitely gonna see Susan, take her space in court.
Mm.
We're definitely going to see how she navigates becoming a partner, I think, at Crest Folding. Yeah. And then we're going to see how her love life
Right.
Unravels or ravels, who
Right.
knows?
And you mentioned Skylar who plays Todd. How would you
Yeah.
describe that chemistry now between like Susan and Todd?
Oh, man. Oh, I mean, I think there's a lot that's unspoken.
Yeah.
I think everyone, at least that I know, has always has someone that has gotten away from them.
Mm,
And I think that he is very much one of those people who have gotten away, and make me second guess a lot of things. But like I'm in a great relationship right now, so I love Peter. Peter's great.
right. But if you, like I said, if you go in those groups, they don't care. They want to see you two back together.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see, group. We'll see.
We'll see. That's right. What's been your favorite moment so far in this series?
Oh man. What has been my favorite moment? Well, I can't spoil some of them because some of them are episodes that are coming out. So
Right.
nudge, nudge. I don't know if I've had a favorite moment outside of like some of the behind the scenes stuff, like getting to know the crew has been really wonderful. I've had numerous times where I've sat back and thought, wow, this would not be a show without the crew.
Mm,
And that has been really grounding for me, I think. Because obviously you're the face of the show when you're an actor on it, but like your hair team, your makeup team, the camera people, the grips, like everyone that is part of the process is just so important to make the show what it is.
mm. Not a lot of people think like that, and you're one of the first guests I've had where they actually mentioned the people behind the scene. That's great.
Oh, well, it's important. So
Hey.
yeah.
Uh, so when you joined the show, and you started meeting the cast and everything, was there any advice given to you as this being one of your first big projects?
I get tips and tricks kind of throughout. One of the things I didn't really realize until getting onto set and working consistently is the technical aspect of filmmaking.
Mm,
So, if I'm having a conversation with you, kind of cheating my body outward so that the camera can see my face and I'm not like,
right.
which is what I think I was doing initially. I would really take notes in meetings, and so I'd have my head down, and Marsha was like, "Chin up," and I was like, "Oh, yes, 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 yes." And so it's been a lot of figuring that out. I think that like that's been like I guess the best advice that I've gotten thus far. It's just like the tips and tricks
Mm.
of being technically sound.
How many episodes are we planning to see the first season? 'Cause I saw you posted something the other night that people thought it was already ending almost, and you've been
Yeah,
telling me,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like 5 or 6 more episodes,
I've
something
been
like that.
getting a lot of like, I can't believe this is the last episode of season one.
Yeah.
Because initially we had a 13 episode, but then we got extended the full season order. And so there are 21 episodes for season one.
Well, and now what's the plan for season two? Have you heard anything yet? How many episodes?
Not yet, not yet. But we just know there is a season two. So it's good.
Right. So
Mhm.
when are you still filming this season? Or are you done
Yes,
with
we
this season?
are. Yes, we are. I'm back on
Wow.
set tomorrow. But yeah,
Wow.
we are in the middle of episode 16. And so we start 17 on Monday.
Wow. So what's the plan? Are you taking a break in between
Yep.
before you start filming season two? They give you when's the filming date for that? Have you had any idea?
We don't know when we start again. Usually it's July. That's what we started this year at least. And then we end around mid-April.
Oh wow. So you're gonna be busy.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I like this is the thing. I like work. So this is all great for me.
So now what's next for you now? Like, do you have any other projects you're auditioning or about to be on that you could tell
Yeah,
us?
so it's scheduling is a little bit constrictive just because, being a series regular on a TV show right now.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is to see what I can do during my hiatus. So maybe those auditions will start coming in. I don't know why I'm doing this weird dance, but
There you go. And who knows? Maybe we get you on one of those streaming sites for like even the shorter you can squeeze in another season of a different show and then go
yeah,
back
who
to that.
knows? The world is the oyster in this
Yeah.
at this point, the West Coast oyster. But yeah.
And there's a lot of content out there. Every day there's new content.
I know it's kind of crazy to think how much content is out there and how much we didn't have actually when I was a kid, when we were kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How can the listeners and the viewers now find you on social media, keep up with you for season two, even season one news down the road?
Yeah, no, well, the best way to keep in contact with me is actually through Instagram, it's at Inga Schlingman, my full name. It's not super complicated, although I'm sure you get this. The last name can be difficult. So
Oh
just know
yeah.
that it's two N's. Or you can just find me through obviously at So Help Me Todd or at So Help Me CBS, that Instagram handle as well.
All right, amazing. Inga, I want to thank you for giving a few minutes today. This was a great chat. And let's get you back on when season two comes up.
I would love that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.